Good morning. It is Saturday, the 26th of February, 2022. So, messages from within been coming on since I woke up super groggy and reflecting about just the energies just in the last few days. And why did I go to the store twice and load up on sugary items? Actually, when I was in the checkout line and two different days, I realized I shouldn't be doing this, but I did it anyway. And I woke this morning not doing an ass kicking, because I don't do that. It was more like, what drove me to wanting to stuff my face with things that I know are going to wreak havoc on the inside, which then inside. And so I started looking at the scheme of the energetics of the world right now, and there is so much havoc. So there was part of me wanting to resonate with that havoc. So I created an avenue to indulge that, to ingest that, to meet and greet the havoc that's going on around me, versus 95% of the time of being grounded and totally aware and being able to override any sabotaging. So, which then led me into thinking about someone I know, and they were on my mind. And so I was getting some messages, so I sent them a message. And it turns out that that particular person is inviting in this weekend a relationship that is totally over. Like, in your face, no choice, over. But there's something that was compelling this person to bring this relationship in this weekend in hopes of a couple things. One, done. And the other was to prove to the other person they were. So that was coming along, which then brought me to messages from what's going on over here between R and U, and what it looks like to the world of this big bully going in and trying to dominate innocent, smaller in weakness, right? But then they were showing me that this wasn't just threats of going in and a buildup of going in. This was strategized. Strategized. And needs approval from what they want to call the UN on how they're going to actually do an invasion. Because the key here is not to take out the innocent. This isn't the old wars where they come up over the hill with all their stuff and just raid, steal, and rape and pillage unsuspecting villages, towns, and so on. Excuse me. That the way we have moved forward is, how do we strategize, right? So how do you do this and then have the approval of your neighboring countries so that you don't go do it and then now your neighboring countries come and do it to you? So there's this democracy, so to speak, where everybody has to put their plans out on the table, and also to pre-warn the towns, the villages, the cities, whatever, that this might be coming in this form or fashion. so that people can have second thoughts, and then they have choices to flee. They want to call it leaving, but it's called fleeing for your life. Okay, they're showing me like the ring of hovering fear. So everyone's doing everything out of fear, responding, reacting to what's coming. So, as we know, fear does not allow all your organs to function. It overrides many organs so that the survival instincts are the only thing that's functioning. So that means this doesn't function well. And it's all about as fast as you can. So with that being said, all of this strategies and all of these meetings and then all of what the media outlets are putting out, these rings and blankets of fear, the what ifs, the edge of your seat, the adrenal popping, the adrenal explosions, the heart palpitations, the forward thinkers who can think and then look and bring it back into this present moment. And most people are going to go to the worst case scenario and then pull that back in to the current moment when you're talking about things like war, life and death, threats, all these things, right? So we are feeling the heaviness of this insanity energy. And we're also feeling the after gases of bullets, machinery, bombs, planes, exhaust, etc. that's being put out just in the last 24 plus hours. Now remember, this has been in motion for quite some time. Planes have been loading up all around borderlines, boats, all that stuff. So there's already been this atmosphere of hellacious, dark, clouded energy. And then when you add like the residue of, say, gunpowder and so on and so forth, that's now all in the air circulating around the globe, along with the emotional components. And then when you're doing, again, like the physical component of taking in this air, which is loaded with stuff that nothing can handle it. It's the most critical time to stop, drop, sit, connect with the breath, and really value the exchange of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. Exchange of that, exchange of that, exchange of that. And value it so that you are literally grounding yourself through the breath. And in grounding yourself from the breath, now you are a steady buoy. Buoys move, but they're steady at the bottom. And so now you're connected into that Mother Earth component of it. And for those of you who are in awareness of what is actually happening, so that Mother Earth can now be a garbage disposal, right? She's bringing all this stuff that we have all stuffed into her for millenniums, and she's just stopped working. She's just backing it all right back up into the sink, which is the surface. So now you have the surface bubbling up all this stuff, right? And then it appears that you're sandwiched because you got all this stuff in the airways, okay? And you're feeling this. So we're feeling literally compressed and starting to wring out every cell, leaving many of us very, very thirsty, feeling shrunken, thirsty, not satisfied, feeling heavy and tired, feeling weebly and wobbly, feeling, ooh, that adrenal burst to condensed. And so one person at a time needs to woosah, bring in the breath of the divine in through the body and into the core of Mother Earth, giving her so much love and support while she's literally regurgitating and vomiting out what has been placed inside of her by each and every one of us over lifetimes. And help her bring this debris and this stuff up to the surface. And then as you have the airways doing what they're doing, and then all this heaviness from emotional, physical, and etheric junk smashing us, what we feel like. So breathing through that, filling the cells with this crystalline, beautiful, clear quartz energy. Being mindful of what it is that we're taking into our bodies. And we're hydrating foods and oils. Slow your roll a little bit. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with all your sensories. Ground thyself. Ground yourself the best that you can. So as the wind blows and you're being toppled and stuff's coming up with waves and stuff's coming down with waves, you can, okay. I'm steady on my tightrope. Steady on my tightrope. I'm going to expand my tightrope. It's going to become more of a path. And I'm going to expand it. I'm going to expand it. So now I'm feeling definitely steady. Definitely more steady now. Got both feet planted without the fear of falling over. Of course, these are all metaphors for many, many things. You all get what I'm saying here. Take stock when you do this breathing for what it is that you're attracting in. And are you attracting things in to match what might not be of accord in discord? Or are you bringing things in to bring that discord to the surface so that you can see it, feel it, smell it, taste it, and you're not going to feed it? You're going to bless it, give love and forgiveness, and send it back to the light, i.e., me and my sugar. So no matter how much money I spent, that's all going in the trash, and I'm going to bless every single bite that I'm not eating. It was unnecessary junk that I don't need matching what's erupting and coming out of my garbage disposal to be dispersed. and just neutralize, which is what Mother Earth is doing. So we ourselves are starting to maybe attract some things that relationships, whatever, food, whatever it may be, thoughts, whatever, remorse, doesn't matter what it is. Say, oh, that just stirred that up in me. Let me bless that. Say, thank you for showing me. And let me just love you and forgive you. And just say, you no longer serve me. I am sending you with so much love back to the light. Whether that's a relationship, whether that's some sugary shit, you know, whatever that is. So what we're doing is, you know, they say you don't want to react, you want to respond, right? Well, reactions are critical in so many things to save a life. You want to react, you don't want to think. You know, you're sitting at a table and your kid goes to spill a glass of milk, you just boop, back to the table. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Car comes out, reactionary, right? And then responding is more about being able to churn things through without opening the mouth and then, oh, I can't take that back. So you all know what I'm talking about here. So with all of this, I'm dropping my thing. With all of this, I'm saying is like, we have what I call reactionary responses. And we have to ask, are we in our body enough to respond and react in a way that is helpful? Because you've seen people go to react and then they just knock everything down and they're not helpful at all and all those things. So it only starts with us, the individual, right? And remember what we work with within ourselves, and that we learn to practice, skill, hone it in, and master. We are working with the collective known and unknown. So when I say it's not just about you, this work has to be done. So you have to own it, sit with it, and work with it not only for yourself, but for all of our loved ones, brothers and sisters, known and unknown. And if you start to feel like, well, damn it, they need to do their own work. Why am I doing all this stuff for everybody? Look at everybody helter-skelter crazy insanity. I get it. Because there are some that you're just going to have to spend more time on that particular vibration that maybe someone you know is carrying. And you all know what I'm talking about, because it takes everybody different times, different zones of which they viscerally get their rock bottom or their upper top. It's not for us to judge. What it is if we see it and we realize that more work needs to be done on that particular vibe really that person is carrying. And sometimes it could be tagged, that's it, it's that person almost all the time. It's just a lesson back to us that more work needs to be done within ourselves to neutralize it, to love it, to forgive it, and to send it back to source, light, never to come back again. All right, please comment on how you like this video. I always go through just impromptu. I have nothing in order. You'll never find anything in order with how it works, because they just keep coming through me and we just roll with it. So remember your love light. You've got this. Stop, drop, sit, connect with that breath, own your divinity, work on all the vibrations around you. Much love.